Hi, everybody. It's me coming to you from a very precarious internet source in Africa. I'm on a totally different time frame than most of you peeps back in the United States. And I've been away from YouTube for quite a while now. Again. And so I just wanted to hop on and kind of give a little bit of an update while no one would really be here. So I could see if my internet was even working. I don't even know sometimes whether or not anyone can see me, if it's going through, if it's getting to the other the other continents. Adriana, it must be working. Hi, Adriana. It's so good to see you. I'm doing a quick life update, and then I want to talk a little bit about how I'm feeling about Sister Wives. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, which for a while were like really bringing me down. Like I couldn't even handle it. And now I want to speak out about it a little bit. You can see me good. Hi, Bali. Oh, good. There's a couple of people here. Well, I don't know what time is it there because I'm really bad at determining what time it is in the United States and Canada. For those of you who don't know, I relocated to the continent of Africa, and that's as much as I'm going to say about it. Life here over the past couple of months has been really busy for me. And the YouTube channel is a huge creative outlet for me. It also connects me to some of my people like Adriana and some other people. 9 a.m. there. Okay, I see. Yes. We have like 10, 11 hours difference here. 6 a.m. in Palm Springs, California. Got it. Okay. So it connects me to some of these people who I've gotten to know through my channel, and they can come with me to every country. I was just chatting with someone, like a dear friend from YouTube, and I was saying like, it's really hard for me because I make these wonderful friendships like every country I'm in. But then once I leave the country, it takes a little bit of time, but it starts to disintegrate. We just don't talk as much. I don't see them. We don't have the same things in common anymore. And I still consider them a friend. And I'm sure if I went back to that country, we would hang out and have an amazing time. And I miss them so badly. But, when we're not like sharing some of the same environment, life circumstances, the friendships like aren't as strong as they used to be. And so a part of like being able to do this YouTube channel is knowing that I have some of these people who come to my channel, Adriana, Molly, there's a couple of other people, my friend Ivana, like they always show up and they leave me comments, and it makes me feel like my people from like 2-3 years ago when I started my channel are still with me. And some of the people that I've met on YouTube, like they still, like other creators, they still like send me messages and stuff like, how are you doing? And it just means so much to me. It means a lot. So I was like, I'm not going to stop my channel. I'm going to get back on and do things when I feel like doing them. This is a live video, so it'll just be up under the live category. But for a long time, like for about a month or two after arriving here, I was making these Sister Wives videos about Christine's new book. I made a bunch of them. I was going through the book, and when I got to the last 10 chapters, I had to stop. And that's something I'm going to talk to you about today. Molly, you can't get rid of us no matter where you live. Okay, let me see if I can bring up your comment. Oh, you can't get rid of us no matter where you live. This one's a little creepy, but for most of you that aren't stalkers, I'm glad I can't get rid of you. You guys mean a lot to me, and I see you on my Facebook. Those of you who are still friends with me on Facebook, and I've had to limit, oh my gosh, I've had to like reduce my friends on Facebook because of the stalking situation that I had through YouTube. But those of you who are still friends with me on Facebook, you can see some of the stuff that I'm doing. You can see my kids sometimes. There's so much like cool stuff going on, but there's also so much hard stuff going on. I've lived so many places, but this is the first time that we've been in Africa, and we are in what most people consider one of the harder or hardest areas of Africa to live in. For example, we had to bring like shipments of basic food, toilet paper, paper towels. We had to bring all of that here with us. And here's Delp. He's been to so many countries now, thousands of dollars worth of fees to help him travel with us. Hi, E. Katie, I haven't seen you in ages. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. We're busy. I'm doing well. So we're living in an area of Africa where we had to bring, I guess, what's called like consumables. Obviously, there's food here. There's not like great access to food. And then also a lot of the food that we do have access to wouldn't necessarily be considered safe. So I do go to the markets. I go to markets. It's very interesting. I love like being around. Oh my God, the local people here are amazing. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys before, but everywhere I go, I greatly appreciate the local people over the Americans that I hang out with for my husband's job. I always really enjoy like getting to know the local people. I tend to make better friends with locals when I work, like when I'm able to work as a nurse in the country. Then I get to meet so many people. We're like on the same level. We get to hang out. And that's like one of my favorite things. In Kuala Lumpur, I met some of my best friends ever, local staff who worked as nurses with me. And we had so much fun. And they came to visit me back in the United States at one point. Oh, I just miss them so much. But here, I'm not working right now. I'm staying home with the kids. And like, there's just so much that has happened. My life is really busy. As you can imagine, moving from the United States where we have like a house that we own, packing that up, nightmare. Getting here and then having to unpack, because part of what we do is like when we pack our stuff in the United States, we send half of it to like a holding facility and they'll hold it for years. Like there's so much stuff that I'm like, where did it go? What happened to it? I missed my old photographs, you know? So we send half of it to the holding facility and we send the rest of it to wherever we're going, which is Africa in this case. And then when it comes, it's like unpacking all of it, like trying to get the house set up for the kids. But the moment that we arrived, our kids had to start school. And that was a lot. That was a lot. We have an amazing school here. Let's see. Adriana says, are you working or planning to work there also? So it totally depends on whether or not a position becomes available that I'm allowed to work in, because I'm considered an expat, someone who is here under, you know, whatever guidelines from the United States. My husband is working, he has a job. So I have to wait and see like what becomes available. Right now, there's nothing available here for me, which is totally okay because my kids have needed me. And quite frankly, I worked my ass off last year. I worked on a very stressful hospital unit. I was in charge of, it was a small hospital. I was in charge of the whole hospital. I would be like the nursing supervisor in charge. There was a lot that happened there. I was working with kids, special needs kids. It was a lot. Oh my God. I'll share something with you. My son and my daughter are my world. You know, I would do anything for them. They're very independent kids. They do their own thing. But in the background, I'm always like, I'm just cheerleading. I'm coming up behind them with water bottles and handing it to them. I'm making sure that everywhere we go, we celebrate every holiday. I make a huge deal about it for them because here, where we're living now, they don't celebrate Halloween. That's like a huge thing that I'm working on right now. So, you know, I'm always there for them. I'm always like in the background trying to do something for them. But last year when I was working, like I was so tired. I was going from day to night shift, depending upon what the hospital's needs were, because I was kind of like doing it all. And it was hard. Just like I was tired. I was really, really tired. My kids were doing great in the school in the United States. They were doing awesome. And you know, my husband was working this job where he was working from home, like for the first time ever. So he was like less stressed out, but I was pretty stressed. And so I just want to tell you that actually today, my son said to me, like, Mommy, you look so much more like the happy mommy I always knew. Now, he was like, last year you were really stressed out about work, you know? And I was like, oh my gosh, my poor little guy. So as hard as it's been here, like being able to stay home and really provide a lot of support for my kids who needed it because they were transitioning to an international school where people speak a different language. And there's just so many things going on, so many things to get used to. And sorry, my cat's like gonna rub against the computer. Come on, buddy. Come on, don't do it. Come over here next to me. I'll pet you. So like there was so much happening. Like it's good that I was able to stay home. I mean, still now we haven't received all of our shipments. So when I have a shipment coming in, then I have to like really barrel down and get everything. You know, they come with all these boxes. I gotta, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't have everything I want here, like to keep my energy up. So, you know, when stuff like this is happening, when things get really crazy in my life, I want to depend on caffeine. That's not the right thing to do. Don't do what I do. But one thing that really bothers me here is there's no access to milk or creamer. And I like coffee, but I want it to be like a huge amount of creamer and just a little bit of coffee and drink that all day long. So let's see. Hi, good morning. Let me see. JB, good to see you. Okay. Adriana says, I forgot to ask if you rented your house again after what happened last time. We're still in the process of figuring all of that out. I think it's just sitting there right now with family. Let's see. I miss your lives from your car in the bus stop, but your safety matters more to me. Oh, that's so sweet. Hi, Ruth Carol. Hi, Ruth. So good to see you. Okay. Yeah, I miss the hell out of my car. I had to leave it back in the United States. We can't bring our vehicles here. We don't have a car here. We have like sometimes a car is provided by my husband's job. And so I have to have a driver because there's no way I could drive here. It's crazy. So that's also hard because like a lot of times I have to walk to the market. It's just a very different lifestyle. It reminds me of how I lived in India when I lived in Mumbai. And I was saying to my husband, I was like, but back then I was younger. I was ambitious. I wanted to get out there and see the world. And I just don't have that same drive anymore. I don't want to walk to all the markets and do all this stuff. I'm getting old. I'm like a 200-year-old in a 40-year-old's body. So I felt like when we first got here, I was a little like, oh, this is a lot of work. Spookly is not here with us. He hasn't been accepted yet. It's a whole process. We just have our cat dealt with us. Spookly is with family, and we're hoping that he will travel around Christmas time to be with us. Let's see who's here. Tabitha. Hi, Tabitha. So excited to see you. Oh, thank you. Oh, running a couple minutes behind. Okay. Good to see you, Tabitha. Yeah. So, and hi, Auntie Corn. Okay. So I've been like super busy, right? And I know I'm talking about my life now. Later, I'll just go over a little bit of Sisterwives, and then I have to go because my kids will be home from school. My daughter stays really late for all these activities. So yeah, like it was difficult doing the move here. I said to myself, like, I still want to do my YouTube channel because, you know, I miss this. I miss like being able to, I really enjoy like putting the videos together. I also like seeing some of the repeat offenders that come to my channel and chat with me. I really like it. And you guys like know me from before. So I enjoy all of that. So I started making the Christine Brown series. In the background of that, just so much was going on. Number one for me, it will always be number one in my life, is I became highly concerned about what we were going to do for Halloween. I love Halloween. If you don't know, I mean, you guys truly, I haven't been able to share with you like how much I love that holiday, and the fact that wherever we go, Halloween is like my number one priority because we almost always move at the beginning of the year. And so the first big holiday that we can celebrate as a family in the new country is going to likely be Halloween, the first big like American holiday. All of the other posts that we've been at, there's been like some kind of celebration of it, even if it was just among maybe like people that work with my husband. But this year, like nobody is celebrating it. And I'm really, really frustrated by that. Just like, I wish that we had a huge community here who is into it. We don't. So I have been completely committed. Like when we had to put together our first shipment, because we get like an early shipment of like things that are absolutely needed. And they come, I don't know, like 4 weeks after we arrive. I put a ton of Halloween crap in that shipment. And my husband was like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know what I'm doing. This is what is most important to me. I wanted to make sure we had a lot of our Halloween stuff. I shipped it. It's been here. So with that comes like, I always make a ton of stuff. I take all of the cardboard boxes, and we also have like wood boxes that come with all of our stuff. They're like crates. I take it all and I make a bunch of Halloween shit for everyone. It's really, really important to me, to ensure that my kids have fun. It's just a really fun holiday. I love, and to me, it's like the time when we can get a community together. So this year, because we don't have the community like pre-set up, they're not celebrating it at the school, they're not celebrating it in other places, I had to like get to work finding people who want to celebrate with us. I'm helping put together like a big celebration. I've been making a bunch of crap for it. It's been a really weird and crazy time because of everything that is happening back in the United States. The issues in the government, just a lot of like political issues, shootings, things like that. It's been so hard to watch it from afar. I was just talking to someone about how depressed it makes me. I know that the government is still shut down there. That's been really hard to watch from afar. I have a child. It's very important to me that he have, the kind of education that I want for him. So watching people in the education department lose jobs, I've struggled with all of that. And I have said a lot of prayers for everyone back in the US. So many family members that I love and care about, just everything that everybody's going through. I am, very aware and very sad about a lot of it. So, that's something that's on my mind. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my channel, the fact that I started this Christine Brown series, and then I got really pissed off. Christine Brown put out a new book. I purchased the book like right away, started reading it, and started making some videos about it. I was interested. My channel kind of got big, and I have to say, I like having my few little people here. Adriana, I love having my few little people here that get me and kind of like vibe with me. And sometimes when I get like, 60,000 views on a video, that'll be like my least favorite video. And it'll be like a lot of people just being angry about everything. And, I like little people, my people, right? So, I kind of went back to doing this Sisterwives thing, even though I hadn't done it in a long time. And those of you who have been here probably know that the reason that I haven't done it is because of Garrison's death. When Garrison died, a child that we watched grow up on the Sisterwives show, I was in shock. And it hit me in a way that made me think about the family, made me think about, the AUB. It made me think about my role in talking about Sisterwives, social media. And I just really didn't want to talk about it anymore. I didn't want to talk about it, because of the shock, but secondarily, because no one was addressing it. I'm going to be very upfront. I'm going to be very honest about my feelings here. I was very angry that there was kind of like a shutdown from TLC. Not right after, of course, like there's going to take some time for people to think about what happened. It is the most horrible situation I can imagine happening to a mother. So I have empathy for that. I have understanding of that, but I also felt like somebody needed to come forward and address what the hell had happened. The fact that we had watched these kids grow up on TV, the fact that so many fans, Sisterwives is huge on YouTube. So many channels talk about it. So you've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of fans who really care about this family, care about these people. And yeah, it's a parasocial relationship for sure, but you, TLC, have created this show where you welcomed us into this family's life, and then you asked us to create some kind of a concern for them. And then we have something absolutely explosive happen, and you say, hey, you know what? Even though this just happened, we're going to just use footage that we already filmed like before this. And then they went on to have a season where they showed us what had happened like the year before and didn't address, very mildly addressed what had happened with Garrison. And I think that's bullshit, total bullshit. I didn't talk about it because I was like, you know what? here's the thing. Here's the complicated part about it. I love some of these sister wives. I care for Christine and Mary in that parasocial way. I mean, Christine and Janelle, I care for in that parasocial way. I hope Mary is okay, but I haven't formed as much of an empathy for her, and so I care about them. So I want them to have this show. I want them to make money if that's, what they need to do. So I didn't talk about it, last year. I didn't talk about it at all. I went to work. I said, I don't even want to do my channel. I had been dealing with the stalking. I had seen Garrison lose his life. And I just was like, I don't want to do it for a little while. So I, pulled back and do my channel for many, many months. And then I went back and decided in, I think it was September or August, to start talking about Christine's book. Christine's book is complicated. Something that really bothers me is that so many other channels, news outlets, whatever, they really focused on like the very, very small portions of the book where Christine makes mention of she wasn't very happy with her sex life with Cody. I talk about it in, my videos, but it's such a small portion of the book. And I think it does go to inform us that there were some things going on behind the scenes that were never addressed on the show, for sure. Like there's some big stuff that was going on. I think what the book is more about is like the stages of her life and how her belief in the AUB caused her to stay in a situation that wasn't always the best for her. And a whole lot of that does not have to do with sex, you guys. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Vivia. Good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. Adriana says, his death was, okay, so she's talking about Garrison. His death was awful, and I get it. Life goes on. But I see Robin and Cody this new season using Garrison as an excuse for buying a bigger mansion where none of his kids visited them there. I mean, we're going to talk about some of that because I'm just disgusted. I'm totally disgusted. So they didn't address Garrison's death last season very much. Then we go into this new season and Christine has written this book. I buy it. I'm talking about it. The book is interesting, right? I think I'm like 75% of the way through, right? And so I'm reading the last, I don't know if it was like 10 chapters that I had left to do a video on. So I'm going to the end. And the very last chapter is all about Garrison. It's all about him. And I wept. Let's say Christine watches this, or Janelle watches this. I understand. I'm just a viewer of your family, of, your show. And I'm not a relative of Garrison Brown. I understand. And yet I cannot help but feel dramatic, sadness and empathy about what's happened here. The last chapter was hard to get through. I don't think I'll ever be able to like read any of it to you guys. But it's just like a lot of good memories of Garrison, a lot of trying to create something positive out of what happened, and just acknowledging that this horrible thing happened. And I think Christine's kind of ending point in that chapter is like, it reminded her how important, her children are, the people in her family are, the good relationships she does have. Maybe she doesn't have that good relationship with Cody. She still has it with Janelle. And if it's not a perfect relationship, that's okay. She's going to do everything she can to see her, do everything she can to see her kids as often as possible. She's going to do what makes her happy in her life and not live anymore like, trying to please the religious system she was born into. She's going to do what makes her happy, which makes her feel good about like having spent time with her kids. So that's kind of what the last chapter is about. And it hit me really hard. I didn't make I wanted to make this last, going over the last 10 chapters and then move on to something else. And it like stopped me in my tracks and I wasn't able to make the video because I really care about especially the children on that show, number one. And I also care that there's a lot of freaking greedy people in this situation, Cody, I think, being number one, but other people who are using this show to make a shitload of money. And instead of saying like, okay, we've got all this money, great, let's send all our kids to college, let's buy like, a nice house, but a small house. I mean, they don't do any of that. They keep buying and buying and purchasing and more and more and more and more and more seasons, more interviews, more like businesses on the side. Which part of the reason why they get to be so successful in businesses like LuLaRoe is because they became famous on TV. So even though you can say like, oh, Mary made her business from LuLaRoe, she would not be successful like she is. Nowhere near. I mean, we know Mary. She's not someone who attracts everyone to her and everyone loves her. No, she doesn't at all. She certainly does not attract females to her who love her. She's OCD, she's controlling. Why does she have such a big productive business in LuLaRoe that makes a ton of money? Because of the show, So they make all this money off of this, and then they just keep pushing it. They will not stop. And it's become really hard for me. Cindy, 100%. And that's big in Christine's book. I talk about it a little bit in my videos, but I would recommend reading the book because she's the first one I see talking about Garrison, like talking about him, talking about memories, bringing up things that he did. I don't know if you saw my one video where I talk about Christine has a great memory of Garrison at Thanksgiving. Okay. I think it was Thanksgiving. It might've been Christmas. But he came up with this idea to make this amazing, like funny food train out of graham crackers, and it kept falling apart and he was getting really frustrated. And finally, Christine says, I popped out that glue gun and I was like, Garrison, we're hot gluing this sucker. Okay. Now Garrison's response was like, wait, no, I wanted everybody to be able to eat it. And Christine had to calm him down and be like, look, Garrison, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hot glue the train and everything you want to make. And then we'll put a bunch of graham crackers to the side for people to eat because we're going to make this happen. And she talks about like sitting there and hot gluing with him this train that, was supposed to be like going around the table at Thanksgiving. But then he also made like a house, like a gingerbread house out of these graham crackers for each of the kids. And she talks about this memory she has of him and how everybody was like, wow, Garrison, this is my house, oh, so cute, made out of graham crackers. These are the amazing memories she has, like real. That's what kills me too. That's what kills me about this show. And I wonder if you guys can get on board with me. It's like at the beginning of this show, I think we were watching real life. They were hiding things from us. Christine was hiding that she wasn't so happy in bed from the beginning, right? Okay, yeah, they're hiding things from us that are just things that you don't tell everyone, right? But it wasn't fake. They were talking about their lives. They were fighting in front of us. They were talking about issues that they had. They talked about their religion. It wasn't fake. The last several seasons, other than the season where like Christine really came out and said like, hey, I'm unhappy. The last many seasons have been so freaking fake to me. Just fake. You can tell that they've been given a scenario that they're supposed to kind of act out in front of us. We're not getting the real deal about what's going on with Cody and Robin. I cannot. And the other thing that really bothers me is how it's never addressed on the show. And it's never addressed, or sometimes I feel like it's not addressed by some people who talk about it, like how completely messed up it is that Cody and Robin were living in a multi-million-dollar house while all the other wives and all the other children were struggling their asses off. Like that should have been like, no. And TLC should have been addressing that every day, day after day. Like once COVID started and Robin and Cody hold themselves up in this $1 million mansion, it should have been like, okay, here's the one question we have for you. And we'll ask it every single day. How do you feel about the fact that you guys have this beautiful multi-million-dollar mansion, have everything you want, and your children who are living with Christine are crying every day because they don't see their father? Your children living with Christine, was it Isabel had to go and get her surgery done without you? That should have been like every single day. Like that is what is going on. Like there's nothing else going on with that family that matters to me. Why do Cody and Robin think they have a right to live in a multi-million-dollar home and give their kids anything and everything? I mean, we're talking about Robin's oldest child getting an RV to live in. I understand. I have a child, special needs. But like, why would you do that and then leave all your other kids hanging? All your other kids have to go buy their own homes. They have to go into the army to make money. They have to, Peyton has to work as a bouncer at a strip club on top of his military career to have enough money to live. Nothing about it made sense. And we were constantly being told by Janelle and Christine, like, I just feel like the whole show set it up where it was like, well, yeah, it's hard, but like, we're doing it for the family. No, Janelle, like, fucking stand up for yourself and say to all of us, like, tell all of us, and I love Janelle, but like, tell all of us, no, this is BS. They took money from the sale of my house to buy their new house, and it's total BS. I'm so angry about it. Reality TV isn't real. Michelle, I believe that in the beginning, and this is the reason why I like this show, I believe that in the beginning, this is one of the more real shows that we saw out there. That's why I liked the show in the beginning. I liked the first couple of seasons and stopped watching for a while. I could tell that it became very fake, but it's gotten worse and worse and worse, and I'm so angry about it. Hi, Jill. Good to see you, Jill. Okay, Viva. Robin is an amazing study of a psychopath. I think people can learn a lot from that. I want to know more about Robin. I want to know so much more about Robin, but I actually have left that all in the past. I don't want to know more about any of them anymore because I'm just tired of how they are using the show. It's all about money. I'm going to show you an example. I could say so much about it. Let's see if I can bring this up. How do I put this up here? Okay. And let me make that bigger if I can, because I want to be little. Here I go. Okay. Yeah, so this is a picture of the new house that Robin and Cody have purchased. I just wanted to mention that there was this whole article that I was reading that I think is actually more accurate than a lot of other things that I've read, because there's all kinds of rumors that go on about the Sisterwives. I get it, and I talk about the rumors, but this was something that really rang true for me. The article is looking at, like, how in the world can Cody and Robin afford a $2 million house on top of not even having sold Coyote Pass yet. Okay. I mean, it's insane. It's like everyone should be shouting from the top of the rooftops. This is fake. This is fraud. This is ridiculous. We don't want to see this. We don't want them getting any money from TV. This is sick. They bought a $2 million home, 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. They have kids who should be moving out, go away, Robin's girls are old enough. I mean, I would keep my kids around if I was able to, but like a 6-bedroom house and like all this crap. And, they don't need to. They do not need to have a house this big. Okay. So they buy this $2 million house. They haven't sold Coyote Pass. Okay. So I was reading this article about how this person who, I guess, some background in like does financial whatever. So the opposite of me, because I have no idea what's going on financially in my life at all. Adriana says, because of all the money they stole from the 3 original wives. They definitely stole some money. And they made a ton of money on the show, and who knows what else. But the problem is that even when calculating all of that, people were like, they still shouldn't be able to afford this home. Okay. So this guy who's talking about the financials and what's going on, he was able to show, like, I guess he has some way, I don't know how, of looking up how much money they put down on the house. They put $439,000 down on the house. Okay. So that's what they had. Okay. That's not a lot for a $2 million house. I mean, it's more than, I can just take out of my bank account and give someone. I think for most of us, it's a lot of money, but that's not a lot for a $2 million house. So they had to get a loan for the rest of it. And this article was asking, like, how were they able to get the loan? And basically this guy was speculating that he couldn't think. Now, part of this is because they haven't sold Coyote Pass yet, because there's a whole lot of money, like floating around in Coyote Pass. Okay. So he was like, one of the reasons why I just absolutely, based on the numbers, don't feel like they would be able to get this loan unless, he said, the only way I can foresee them being able to get this loan for like $1.6 million would be if they were able to show the bank that they had a contract with TLC for several more years of filming. And so he kind of showed like they would need a contract for 5 years in order for a bank to really bankroll this for them. And that's when I was like, ah! Okay. Michelle says, Katie, you don't have to wonder about that. Robin already explained. She's just better with her money. Oh, God. Michelle, you made me upset. Okay. They took money from the family asset, their home, and put into another house under an LLC they stole. I know that there's, and that is addressed in the article as well, like looking at their financials. But, and yes, maybe it's possible that, they have some more money. I don't know. But this article by someone who knows what the hell they're talking about, because you guys know, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to financial stuff. Like he was saying, they would have to show that they have an ongoing commitment with TLC to make this much money, whatever amount of money he was talking about, like they make per year, they have to keep pulling it in for so many years in order to pay off this loan. And I wanted to, this is TLC. This hand is TLC. This is me. Like, I am so angry. I'm so angry. I'm really angry. I mean, I guess that show makes them a lot of money. It's very hard for me because I love Janelle. I love Christine. I love the kids. I want them to be financially stable. I don't want really any of them, I'm sorry, including Christine and the kids. I don't want them to be millionaires because I think that it influences them to kind of do shitty things, like continue with a show that's not good for them, not good for their kids, for the money. And I'm not like, okay, if someone had me on a show, if I was on the show, if I was involved, yeah, I would be pushed towards continuing to do it for the money. I mean, there would be like a back and forth in my head about it. I almost feel like you have to rip it away from them. You can't give them the option. You can't continue to give Christine the option to go on the show. Just take it away. And I think it'll be healthier for them and for their kids. And like, it really bothers me that they've made so much money off of this. And I don't see it being given back to their children, to their community, to whatever. It's just bigger homes, more stuff. Robin and Cody are everything. They're like the prime example of that. But I see that with Mary too. It's like she has to have multiple. It always pissed me off that she had to have a home in Flagstaff, this huge mansion house in Flagstaff, as well as her mom's house in Utah. Like, it just never ends with her, the amount of money she's pulling in. And people are like, oh, she makes it from LuLaRoe. Well, once again, I think she makes it because she's famous. And secondly, like, I've joined her LuLaRoe Facebook group just because I wanted to see what was going on. She does not work that much. I don't see her like constantly like out there doing massive, hauls and really like pushing herself. Like, I've seen McKelty does like a lot of stuff like that. But Mary, I don't think she does that much. I think she makes money from, she got all these people underneath her and they went to her because she's famous. Drives me crazy. I want them to have some money. I want them to be okay. I want them to have money for the fact that they put their kids on TV. But at some point, I just want it to stop. I want it to stop. I want it to stop in honor of Garrison. I want it to stop. I think people should, refuse to watch. I haven't watched the new season. Not like I'm telling people what to do. They can do what they want, but it's just because I love the show for a long time too, and I got it. But I just can't anymore with these people. And there's a lot of people. The other thing that really grosses me out is I like to be on TikTok and I watch. So I'm more interested now in other families from the AUB who are more real. You guys know I love like Moroni Jessup, who you can follow on Facebook or TikTok and is one of my favorite people, comes from the AUB, used to live the lifestyle, has a lot to say about the AUB and everything that's happened. he's actually going through a lot right now. If you can find him, follow him. I just love him. But he's like a more real person who talks about everything. I was just watching Cody's nephew, who goes by the Fresh King Benjamin on TikTok. I'll have to share that video with you guys. He is talking about Cody being on Special Forces because Cody's on a new show, a new reality show now where, of course, I don't watch that, but he's like, they challenge them with physical activities. And Fresh King Benjamin, Cody's nephew, who he doesn't talk to anymore and who left the AUB and has spoken out about like the ranch that they grew up on and like the hard labor that the children were subjected to. He talks about how my little cat is holding my hand. So cute. He talks about, Fresh King Benjamin talks about, of course, Cody did amazing on Special Forces. I mean, better than most people would assume he would do, because Cody's whole life, that's who Cody is. Like total and utter commitment to something. He picks something and he's 100% in, and he's going to show everyone how amazing he is. And he's going to be there. He'll fight till he dies, you know? And he's like, that is who Cody is. That is who he was raised to be. That's part of the reason that he stayed so long in the AUB. That's part of the reason that he does what he does to his wives. Like, it's just, his insight is really interesting to me. Let's see. You love Fresh King Benjamin. Yeah, check him out on TikTok. I'll put up a couple of videos of him eventually. Adriana says, I watch the 3 OGs, but fast forward those 2 idiots. Yeah, for sure. And don't feel like you don't have to do what I'm doing. I just can't watch it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. The only way I see it is like I still have some like Facebook groups with Sisterwives, and I see people posting about it, and I enjoy the posts more than I do the show anymore. Okay, so the cast seem to hate Cody on Special Forces. So I didn't watch it, and I did see like several of the females coming forward and being like, yeah, he's kind of a jerk. But I think, and Benjamin hadn't watched it, but his friends were like, they were talking to him about it, and they're like, he actually did really well. Like he was able to accomplish, I guess, some stuff on the show. And Benjamin was just like, I totally get it. Like growing up on a ranch where you're basically used for slavery as a child. I mean, you really have to watch his TikTok to get a full handle of everything that happened. Maybe I'll make a video about it again. But he's like, yeah, of course. Like of course he would love doing this. But I guess what I'm here to say is I have a lot of like sadness, depression. It's all negative feelings when I think about Sisterwives now. I am actually, one thing that I'm really mad about, and I'm going to kind of wrap it up here, but like, I'm mad that Janelle didn't write a book, because I think Christine made a fair amount of money off of her book. And I wanted Janelle to have that too. I'd like Janelle to have a nest egg. I actually feel like Janelle is probably the most deserving. I mean, I think Christine is as well. I think they're all like deserving of having a nest egg. They can leave Cody and go live their lives. But I was like, Janelle, write a book. You don't even have to put anything salacious in it. Just write a book so I can buy it. People can buy it and you can make some money like Christine did. Because poor Janelle is over there. She'll live in like a camper. She'll live in a small apartment. She'll live in an extremely small house. I mean, I know that she probably has money saved, but I'm like, come on, Janelle, write a book so you can get some money off of it. And then let's end this show. Cut it off. I bet Maddie will write one. I actually have a clip of Maddie. Let me see if I can bring it up. It was something I was going to share with you. I also have this. I wanted to share with you some stuff about my son, but I'm not going to because of the stalking. It's really sad the way things have gone with that, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and look at this one of Maddie. Let me share it. Okay. Let's see. Tell me if you can hear this. Tell me in the chat if you can hear this. This is Maddie calls out Cody, her estranged dad.
Rush is calling out her dad, Cody Brown. The Sisterwives star takes to social media to give followers additional insight into the relationship with her estranged father. After posting an inspirational quote to her Instagram stories October 10th, which reads, "Underrated life skill, pausing to decide if it's worth your energy." The 29-year-old shares how she's been able to master the technique, writing, "Your dad saying lies about you for the entire world to hear teaches it to you real quick." Going on to cheekily add, "I guess I'm in this kind of mood today."
Do you guys see the video? I don't see it on here. let me see, stop sharing. Let me do this. And then let me try again. I want to share my screen and go to Maddie's thing. I hope this will share.
Hey, Maddie, the oldest daughter of Cody and his ex-wife Janelle Brown, has been open about her years-long estrangement from her dad following the end of 3 of his polygamous marriages. With the mom of 4 who shares kids 8-year-old son Axel, as well as daughters 6-year-old Evie, 2-year-old Josephine, and 6-month-old Amelia with husband Caleb Brush, then revealing whether she would be open to reconciling with Cody and his last remaining wife, Robin Brown. Replying to a fan, "I'm not sure. I think I would need more than he could give. I am not sure I want to welcome the storm that is Cody and Robin into my life. From day to day, the life of the Brush family is very quiet and easy. I like that."
So I'm not sure if you guys could see it. It's so weird to me. Let me go back down here. Something weird is happening. Stop sharing. Okay. Do you guys see me? Hopefully you do. Okay. No video playing. I can hear it though. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. I'll have to figure that out. This looks different for me. The program is looking different than how I used to use it. But I did want to share. So this was a video. I'm sorry if you couldn't see all of it, where they're talking about how Madison has made these posts about Cody on her Instagram. And she's basically saying, like, there's a lot that's happened with him. I don't even think I could reconcile with him at this point. And that's disgusting to me. You're telling me that Cody is buying a $2 million house with Robin. I just saw a clip of him through one of the Facebook groups. They're driving like Robin, Cody, and all of Robin's kids are driving to go look at the house. And they're like, yay, we're so excited. Oh, it's such a nice house. I like this house better than our old house. And they're like going on about it. And Cody says something like, I'm so grateful that I'm able to give my children this beautiful home. And I'm just thinking to myself, are you effing kidding me? What about all your other children? Your other children. Your children who are literally like suffering from depression, anxiety, who had to go to surgery without you, who don't have a father in their lives. How can you say this on a TV show? Like, I don't understand it. It's disgusting to me. These people should not be getting money. They should not be getting our money. They should not be getting our views. I'm disgusted by it. I really hope, and it probably never happened because it's been a huge moneymaker for TLC, but I really hope that they drop this show. I mean, I don't mind like other shows. Why don't they go around and do like multiple families? That also creates like a different environment than like focusing on one family, having them just all the shit that came with doing a reality TV show. I think it shouldn't be about one family because it's just too much. Viva says, pretending they're getting the house to reconcile with his real kids was truly disgusting. I didn't even see that part, but that's bullshit. Total bullshit. What I like is what Michelle has to say. He's a gross pig. Yes. Okay. Someone is asking about Caleb. I will mention, because I wasn't aware either until like I was following Maddie on Instagram and she made a post about it. Caleb is really sick. His kidney function is very low. I don't know everything about why it's happening. Kidney issues can happen for a multitude of reasons. I think his kidney is at like 25% capacity. And when it gets any lower, he will go on a transplant list. And she posted about this and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even know about that. And that also is like very telling of what I see with Janelle's children, where like they don't share everything about their lives, even when the show could potentially help them. Like it could have been a huge story on the show that Caleb was sick and Maddie could have been asking for people to donate a kidney to him. And she didn't even do that. Like she did not take advantage the way that I think Cody has, you know, of using this show for what she wants for it. I definitely will be following up. I'm going to, you know, look into a little bit more what's happening with Caleb, because they seem like a very nice family. And I hope that they'll be okay. Oh, look at this. Tabitha says, but the old house was so small that they couldn't play hide and seek. What do you expect from them, Tabitha? They need a bigger house. What do you expect from them, Rabbit? Like, give them a bigger house. They need hide and seek rooms. Insane. And Robin with that wicked little grin everywhere. I don't know what her deal is. I can't anymore. Yeah, so I am going to make in the next couple of days my last post, my last video about Christine's book. I'll be going over the last 10 chapters. I'm going to do it kind of quick. I'm going to just be like saying some of this stuff, but I felt like I couldn't say it all in the video. Just sort of like, I don't even want to watch this show anymore. I'm so done. I'm so done. The only thing I want to see is people talking about what really happened to Garrison. They don't need to give us the details, but I want to know, like, was he having issues because of his military service? Was he in a deep depression because it runs in the family? What does the AUB have to do with some of this? Does it have to do, like, those were the things that I wanted to be addressed that are not being addressed, that were not addressed, that were just kind of, you know, envelope closed. We're not going to talk about it. I don't think Janelle has to be the one to do it. Like, Cody could be the one that comes forward and talks about how awful, because he should feel effing awful. I mean, I can't even, what is the word that you could say about how bad he should feel about himself because of what happened to Garrison? He should be talking about how in therapy, he's talking about, you know, how he could get closer with his kids, what happened to Garrison, how the show affected it, how the AUB affected it, how he's changing himself because of it. And the number one thing that really, I think, gets to me and brings me down about all of this is I just really question why Robin, as a woman, as a mother, would stay with a man who has done this to his other children and his other wives. Robin should have gotten the heck out of there. You know, she should have said, if you're not going to be with Christine's daughter when she goes to surgery, then get the hell out of my house. You're not going to be with me. You're not going to be with my kids. You're not going to be around me if you're not taking care of your other children. I'm done. So I have a lot of anger towards her about that. I don't even care about a lot of the other shit that Robin does, collecting miniature figurines and whatever the hell she does. But she should have stood up and she should have really said, no, I'm not going to do this. Let me just go through a couple of these comments. Michelle says, I bet that's also a reason why the siblings are moving closer to Janelle and Maddie. Yeah, I hope so, to support them. Yeah. North Carolina is a great place to go. And I'm happy that many of them are moving down there. Let's see. He had alcoholism on top of depression. Yeah, that's something that's come up. And I think that that's something that's common within men who are raised in polygamous families. That's something that should and could be addressed. It doesn't have to be addressed by Janelle. It doesn't have to be addressed by Christine. I want to see Cody address it. I want to see Cody, the father of this child, address his role in what happened. And they're not going to, because that's not what they want their show to be about. So I don't want them to have any more of my views, any more of my money. Karma needs to come around for them. Sorry. Yeah, I think for Robin, only her kids matter. I think you're 100% right. Jill, I didn't see what you said. Jill says, thanks, Ruth. I have incredibly supportive kids who take great care of me. I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like you were talking about some kind of medical condition. I didn't see it. It went by, but I'm glad that you're able to share, Jill. And like, I really, you know, I wonder about Caleb. It's interesting that they haven't talked about it very much. Let's see what Viva says. Clinical study. I can't see it because I'm having trouble. Pathologically sentimental, lachrymose or romantic, weeping at films, speeches, or stories of animals while showing no feeling for humans, for suffering they personally calls, you know, that really hits me for Robin. Robin to a T, she says. Yeah. Study about psychopaths. I've also wondered, I mean, I've kind of wondered if Robin doesn't fall into a sociopath type of category, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it. And then let's see here. Michelle says, Cody wished he could have one more beer with his son who struggled. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's the only relationship he has with them, drinking with them. So sad. Ruth Carroll $70 doll collection. If that's true, it just disgusts me so much. Oh, so disgusting. Okay, so I wanted to come on, share with you guys a little bit about my life, which I did, and then talk about how frustrated I am with Sisterwives. I am going to complete that last video. Yeah, I hope to make some more videos, and maybe I'll just go live more because I enjoy it. I just enjoy talking to you guys. That's what's fun for me. All right. I'm getting ready to get all of my kids home and get started on basically like a weekend very much devoted to Halloween. It's so good to see you guys. I can't even believe so many people came. I thought it was like a little earlier there, but I'm so glad to see so many of you. And I hope that I'll see you again. And just, I'm saying prayers for each of you that are going through things. Some of you are on my Facebook, and I keep up with what's going on with you. I'm thinking about you a lot. Adriana, I'm thinking about you. And I hope you're saying prayers for me too. I think they really help and really work. And as we're transitioning here, yeah, I mean, it's good we're getting through it, but it's a lot. I have a lot to learn, a lot of things I'm working on, a lot of things with my kids. And Dump says hi. Hi, guys. Coming to you from Africa. So good to see all of you, and I hope to see you again soon. Glad to stumble on you this morning. Glad to see you guys. Have a great day, guys. Bye.